Hey guys, welcome back, and today I have a review for you, and that is Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club with Redmayne. So let's get into it. So this was actually my first time seeing anything Cabaret related. I have not seen the movie, I have not seen a production of it prior, so this was my first time going to see it. And I have to admit, I know that a lot of people there's a lot of controversy on this revival because Redmayne's performance is so interesting, to put it lightly. It definitely intrigued me when I saw it at the Tonys, and I was like, you know what, this is different, this is weird, not everybody likes this, but I do. So I had to see it. And I have to say, guys, this revival was truly amazing. 10 out of 10. If Merrily hadn't come in this season, I think this would have won. I think that this was going to win Best Revival if Merrily hadn't come. It truly is just such an exceptional show, and we're gonna go through the show and kind of go through some talking points. Now again, I will preface this by saying I can understand why people don't like this. I can understand why people hate this. I can understand why people think this is not a good show, period. Because this is not a show for everybody. This is not a commercial production. I don't know how this is doing so well at the box office. If you look at the box office, it's making bank. And this show is so weird and so out there and so downtown, as they would say, that I can't believe it came all the way here. We start off with Welcome to Berlin, which was kind of the MC's introduction. And again, Redmayne, his body language, what he's doing, the effort he's putting in, the choices, they're bold, they're deliberate, and he's going all the way for them. And I would rather see an actor go all the way than just put on a subpar, boring, conventional performance, and Eddie's performance is anything but conventional. It at times mimics almost like an animal or like a clown, and he like convulses his body and he like moves like this, and he's like, yeah, okay. You know, it's weird, and not everybody is going to like that. It's a style choice, but I dug it. I truly dug it. I was like, he's making the character his own, and you can't take that away. You cannot take that away from him. Don't Tell Mama was a number of controversy in the sense that it is played in, Sally plays it as a baby, in a baby costume, and instead of singing, it's more screaming, and I, again, understand why people would not like it, because it is very obnoxious, it's very out there, but I liked it. It put me into it, it got me invested, and it put the metaphor on pretty big display about what was being said in this number. Also, the sound design for this was incredible, amazing. Like, the person that did the sound design for, oh no, wait, no, never mind. Who did the sound for Cabaret? I think it was Nick Lidster, who's done, this is like his first musical, I think, or first musical in New York City. But this guy, the sound was amazing. Like, it was loud when it needed to be, it was soft when it needed to be. You know, obviously they are in Germany, so the accents are very thick, and I was still able to hear everything very clean and clearly, and I feel like that isn't something that is as prevalent in a lot of musicals these days. I know that a big example is Merrily. I love that show, but the sound design I felt like was very bad. I felt like it was very soft in some places, and then it got super loud, and I was like, where was that when we needed it? But I felt like the sound design for Cabaret was just top-notch, perfect, and exactly what it needed to be. Also, Eddie's costumes, fantastic, you know, when he dresses up as the clown, when he dresses up as, like, that black figure, I think the images are gonna be there. They are stunning in person, and all of those costumes are like, metaphors for what the show is. And if you don't know the story of Cabaret, then you should go and see the show. But it's basically a very metaphor-heavy show, and the MC is very metaphorical in the songs that he sings, Money being a huge metaphorical song. I also thought that B.B. Newworth, who was Fräulein Schneider and it was Steven Skybell for Herr Schultz. They were the heart of the show, and I think that, you know, universally, it's agreed upon that they were the best part of the show, and they truly bring the heart of the show. As you know, it's a tragic love story. Luckily, nobody dies, which I was surprised at, because I hadn't seen. I thought someone was gonna die, and I thought it was gonna be Herr Schultz, but they didn't die, which I thought was very nice. It wasn't like traumatic, you know, like all the other conventional kind of stories that take place in Nazi Germany are. But still, I thought that their romance was very sweet and fun, and the song that they have where they're sneaking with each other, and then she has the other hotel customer whose name is slipping my mind, who also is sneaking out sailor boys. That was so funny. Great moment of comedic timing. And a very funny show. I was not expecting it to be this funny. And obviously it gets super dramatic at the end of the first act, where it's revealed that one of Cliff's friends is part of the Nazi army. And then Act 2 is, Act 1 is a lot more lighthearted, I will say. And again, I don't need to go into super details, because most of you know what Cabaret is, so I am late to this party. But I thought the first act had a lot of energy when it needed to be. It had a lot of heart when it needed it. And I just got this very cozy feeling, like watching a movie near like a fireplace, or like, having someone read a book to me as I fall asleep, in a good way. If You Could See Her was such a powerful number, because it starts off super, like, out of context, because you're like, why is there, like, a bear? Or I think it was a bear, or like a gorilla, but then obviously it's a metaphor. I won't spoil what's a metaphor for, but I thought it was just a very powerful sequence that was kind of like, what's supposed to be the point? But then you get the point, and it is like, wow. Also, there is a sequence at the end of, I think, Married Reprise or something like that. Maybe it's What Would You Do, or I Don't Care Much. But there's a sequence where BB Newirth and Steven Skybell are like talking to each other in Act 2, and he's like, I gotta leave, and she's like, why do you have to leave? And then the lights go dark, and you hear like noises, and then there's paper all over the stage. And if you know what that moment is supposed to signify, please tell me, because I wasn't 100% sure what the moment was supposed to signify. But I got that it was important. I saw the understudy for Sally, and she was fantastic. Her rendition of Cabaret at the end of the show was like vocally so like out there and so like crazy and powerful. And truly, I can see why Eddie and Gail take a night off, because the MC performance and the Sally performance are so taxing mentally, physically, vocally. Like, I just don't know how they can do it. These are beasts of parts. And then the final sequence ends very powerfully with the MC conducting, with no big costume on, which I thought was a good choice. That at the end it got more serious, and the MC kind of stopped putting on these exuberant costumes. Totally deserved its best scenic design win, although if Here Lies Love still was open, I would give it to Here Lies Love, because #justice for Here Lies Love. But this show, you could tell the effort, the time, and the care that was taken into putting on something this size. And I hope that this lasts, because it's a very unconventional production of Cabaret, and it makes a lot of bold choices, and we need more of that on Broadway. And I'm glad that show, as classic as Cabaret, can do that while still, staying true to the original script and the music. Addo Blankswood, who plays Cliff, I feel like, Cliff is just as an important part of the story as the MC and as Sally. And I know that the posters, even the posters before the revival, focus on the MC. The MC is like the symbol, like the way that the cat's poster has the cat eyes. But I feel like that might lead to a misconception that this is about the MC, when in fact it's about Cliff. And I feel like, just my opinion, I feel like Cliff should have been focused on the main picture, or main poster, because Ado is so good in the part. He sings it beautifully, he acts it so well, and, yeah, again, fantastic cast, fantastic set, great direction. You know, you could tell that there was a vision, and even though the vision was unorthodox and untraditional, you have to at least respect it, even if you aren't gonna like it. And I honestly can see why people don't like it, but I personally loved all of the weird, crazy, out there choices that they made. So please go and see Cabaret. Eddie and Gail, I think, leave next weekend, so if you have time, please go and see it. It's a fantastic show. And yeah, and I'm excited to see what Moana does with this part, because she's a good singer, but can she have the stamina and like the power to sing this live? I don't know. So I'm very interested to see this, and you know it's a good thing when the minute you get out you want to see it again, even though I'm not going to because it costs so much money. But anyways, that's my video. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.